What is a life hack that seems fake, but is a true lifesaver? If you're having trouble staying awake in class, at a meeting, see how long you can keep one of your feet lifted slightly off the ground. If a man is in an accident, car, ladder fall, etc., and he gets an erection, don't move him. He has a spinal injury. During pollen season, rinse your hair before bed. Otherwise you're just depositing pollen on your pillowcase every night and then rolling your face in it all night. And then multiply that by how many nights you use the same pillowcase. Rubbing vegetable oil, or any cooking oil, on your hands after you cut up jalapenos or other hot peppers. It gets rid of the awfulness that would normally be left on your hands from the peppers. I rub my hands with oil and then wash it off with dish soap. I can totally remove my contacts after doing this. It's crazy how well this works. I don't know if I trust advice coming out of Paul Rudd's butthole. That rubbing alcohol removes chewing gum. I'd go through a 20-layer deep marketing funnel to get to that tip because it really does work. Also, wow. Thank you for all of the awards, nice Redditors. I completely forgot I left this comment and came back and my notifications had blown up. True lifesaver. If you are ever attacked by a dog, push your forearm into the bite. This pries the jaws apart and prevents them from clamping down. If a dog is attacking you, the best thing you can do is offer your forearm, push as far back as possible, and then grab the dog by the scruff of its neck with your other hand to hold it. The dog is now functionally muzzled and you have control of its head. The sooner and harder you push into the bite, the less damage the bite will do. Yell at your vacuum cleaner to get your dogs to stop barking at it. If your ring gets stuck on your finger, Windex will slide it right off. Worked at a jewelry store for 5+ years. Using your turn signal actually can help other drivers know which direction you plan to go and makes driving safer for everyone. Whenever you accidentally set off your smoke alarm, give your pets a treat so they learn to come to you when there actually is a fire and you need to escape. If you have the right of way, take it. It makes driving more predictable and therefore caused fewer accidents. Yes. Don't be nice, be predictable. Counting really slowly with the goal of reaching 150 is a decent way to fall asleep. If you have any thoughts during it, just let them play out, and if you forget what number you're on, just go from what you last remember. If you make any major movements, just start again. The goal is to force your brain into slowing down and not having any jerky motions or thoughts, and eventually reaching such a level of carelessness that you eventually fall asleep without realizing. Helped me quite a few times, especially with rain sounds. Hope it helps some of you too. All your kindling for a fire is wet and all you have is matches and snacks. Any corn chip will light into a ball of flames. If your car is overheating, turn your heat on full blast. When you turn the heat on in a car, it pulls heat from the engine into the cab, thus cooling the engine. I was taught this in driver's ed. 23 years ago. When in high school my buddy's car would run really hot, I told him to turn the heat on. He wouldn't. I had to convince him it was true by saying I would pay for resulting damage if the temp didn't go down. It was the winter time, and that heat was so dang hot we had to roll the windows down. But we watched his engine temp drop. I don't believe it's especially uncommon, but if no one ever told you, it would seem counterintuitive. Edit. You go to sleep and tell your wife, "Hey, I made a comment and it has like 400 likes." Then you wake up and your 6Y lifetime karma has doubled. I do hope it helps someone, somewhere, sometime that didn't already know about it. A few things as a response to some common comments. This doesn't work on electric cars depending on your mechanical issue. It may not work at all. It has worked for a lot of people with evidence in this chain. Those junior to me learned this from Dairy of a Wimpy Kid. Those around my generation learned this from Hank Hill. If I can have a millionth of the influence of Hank Hill, I'll take it. Also, King of the Hill reboot news. If you want to know how it works better than me saying, it pulls heat off the engine, ask your mechanic or look for those that explained it better in this thread. This is not a permanent fix, this is to get you somewhere to safely address this issue. If you can't afford repairs and do this long term, you are gambling. Know when to hold M, know when to fold M. You read all these comments? I hope you have a great day. Makeup remover on deodorant stains. Vixella randomly brought it up while talking to chat on Twitch. My husband has a lot of t-shirts with white, stained armpits, so I gave it a shot. It worked. Shocked face. Edit. I should probably clarify that I used remover wipes, just a generic store brand pack of cleansing towelettes on my husband's old antiperspirant stained t-shirts from his bachelor days. He switched to a non-staining deodorant a while back. There are a lot of other helpful hacks for this issue added in replies. I'll have to try denim or dryer sheets next time I find a stain to try it on. From the amazing book, The Gift of Fear, by Gavin de Becker. A woman alone who needs assistance is actually far better off choosing someone and asking for help, as opposed to waiting for an unsolicited approach. The person you choose is nowhere near as likely to bring you hazard as is the person who chooses you. Clean jewelry with dish soap. Since other cleaning supplies might scratch it, like hand soap or anything that exfoliates, or chemically react with the metals, usually that's harsh cleaning supplies, and dish soap is intended to clean glass and ceramic without scratching it and silverware without reacting with the metal, etc. You missed the Dawn thread above. Dawn can regrow hair, charge your phone, and soft boil an egg. Run your wrists under cold water or rub an ice cube on your pulse points to cool down all over quickly when you get overheated. It seems obvious, but I didn't realize it until last summer working in a warehouse with no AC. Also, something I learned in the army on extremely hot days on the range: if you need to cool yourself immediately, dunk your arms about halfway between your elbow and shoulder in ice water, probably will need a bucket or cooler, for about 20 to 30 seconds. Then lift your arms over your head straight up and you'll literally feel your body completely cool from top to bottom as it moves down. If you're working outside and it's very hot, just have it ready just in case. It's required by the Army once it gets hot enough to have sheets in ice water to cool anyone that becomes a heat casualty, so it makes sense if you're out mowing your yard or doing work when it's hot. This thread is what LPT aspires to be. If you've written on a dry erase board, or any glossy surface, with a permanent marker, like a Sharpie, just draw over it with a dry erase marker and it will wipe right off. Smell is closely associated with memory. If you're studying for an exam, buy an odd-scented eraser, like pickle scent. Every time you try to memorize something, take a sniff. Take that eraser to the test and sniff it when you're having trouble remembering an answer. Being extra nice to strangers when you need help will get you really far, oftentimes further than you expect. Customer service especially. Seriously. The secret to getting amazing customer service is to just use your manners. It's my job to help you out where I can, but if you're nice I'll probably move heaven and earth for you. This is true, but that's not the reason my husband and I are nice to people in customer service positions. We are nice because everyone deserves to be treated with kindness. However, we always get amazing customer service. Use shaving cream as anti-fog. I used it on the inside of my motorcycle visor. Smear it on, let it dry, then rinse off and dry. It also works for bathroom mirrors. You can use it on a small spot so you can still see when you get out of the shower. Shaving cream also removes the smell of urine. If you ever have to take care of someone who is old and/or sick and who wets the bed, a little shaving cream on a rag wiped over their buttocks after they are thoroughly cleaned up helps them really smell clean again. It's a bit of a sad tip, I know, but you never know when you might end up caring for someone who needs help with things like this. Nobody wants to smell. A dab of shaving cream to restore a bit of dignity? Priceless. Learn how to fall. Where to hit, how to disperse energy. It can really save you in uncertain situation. I see that you know your judo well. As an avid motorcycle racer and someone who crashes a lot, people are always amazed as to how I bounce. Nope. Just 20 years of competitive judo. Write a list and cross shit off when you accomplish the teensiest thing. It builds momentum. I hesitantly submit squeegeeing yourself off before getting out of the shower. It's so simple I was dubious, but just use your hands to quickly wipe off excess water and bingo, you're not cold getting out. If you're in college, don't buy your textbooks until you actually need to use them. I've saved hundreds of dollars by not buying required textbooks that we never used. Or just go to link and pirate it. I'm in academia, and the amount of money that professors actually get from selling textbooks they wrote is staggeringly low. So if it comes to screwing Elsevier, I'm going to screw Elsevier. The cheapest, most effective, and safest insecticide against roaches, especially those huge, waterbug, roaches that we have in the south, is a spray bottle of mostly water with just a little liquid dish soap in it. Shake the bottle, get the water a little foamy, then spray the roaches. They will run, scrabble, and attempt escape, of course, but they will die. The soap film suffocates them faster than any chemicals will. A friend told me about this. I thought she was nuts, but I tried it. It works amazingly well. Plus it's very easy to clean up and safe around food. Not that you want to spray soapy water on your food. You can also use this on wasp nests, especially if sprayed on them right before dawn, since they're not very active. That way they'll be squeaky clean when they return back to their overlord, Satan. If you eat something super spicy, take some petroleum jelly and spread it on you asshole before you shit. It will keep you from feeling like you shitting lava. I have no idea if this is true, but it is hilarious. Wife walks in. Oh, honey, you're home early. Ah. So, why am I stark naked, spreading petroleum jelly on my asshole? Well I ate spicy food last night and now I need a poop. The jelly is to stop it burning. Yes, that's it. Then send us the link to your GoFundMe so we can buy you some goddamn therapy. Crayons are flammable and will provide about an hour of light as a candle if you lit the top. Nail polish remover gets permanent marker off skin. You know, in case someone draws a dick on your face. You start to cough while eating or drinking, essentially the went down the wrong pipe. Immediately lift both your arms up in the air and keep them held up for a few seconds. The act opens your airways and will allow you to catch your breath. Also helps food or drink travel downward. My mill taught us this and it's now second nature. Changed, choke, to cough. The Heimlich maneuver should be used if someone has food stuck. My gran used to yell, "Put your arms up," when one of us did that. I never knew why. This tip makes me happy. Miss my gran. Put your onion in the freezer for 10 minutes before chopping it. It freezes the juices just enough to slow down the process of it turning into a gas, giving you a few minutes to chop the onion without tears. I learnt this tip from a kids' science show years ago and I haven't had to deal with onion tears since. So many people don't believe me, and then are genuinely surprised when it works. Use a wet knife to chop onions. It reduces tears if you have sensitive eyes. It really works. I could barely make it through chopping half an onion without needing multiple breaks before I tried this. Saw it on Life Pro Tips. Just keep the faucet running and dip your knife under periodically while chopping. I still get a little reaction, but nowhere near as bad. If you feel suicidal or depressed, don't focus on hope. It is enough to just stay curious. Curiosity has the power to keep you alive far longer than hope ever will. Curiosity leads to engaging work and this leads to opportunity. I was in a very dark, very bad place in early 2018 and all that was getting me through it was that I wanted to know how Game of Thrones ended. If you've got a splinter below your skin surface, wrap a banana peel around it. Wet side against your skin. It will draw the splinter out most of the time. I don't know how, but it frickin' works. Banana voodoo. Banavoodoo. Banadu? Edit. Spelling corrected. Not sure how that slipped by me. Get it? Oh my good lord, these comments lol. And now silver awards? WTF people. Eating candied ginger helps with nausea. Any ginger really, but candied ginger is much better tasting. Edit. I see this really got people talking. Glad to see other remedies are helping, and the community giving each other tips. Thanks for the award and be excellent to each other. Second edit. Chronic nausea is a different animal and I hope those suffering with it get medical help. Ginger isn't a cure for all nausea, and lots of things can cause it, such as vertigo, which is an obnoxious thing to have, and ginger won't help. I have that, and it's no fun. I use ginger for migraine nausea myself, which I also get. As a ginger, this comment concerned me for a minute. Sleep on big decisions. You think most clearly in the morning, and often after some time passes you realize you were about to make a big mistake. If your coffee tastes too bitter, stir in a small pinch of salt. Emphasis on small. My mom once threw in a tablespoon of salt into my cup once because she saw me put salt in my cup a couple of times before. It was gross. In Turkish culture, when the man comes to the woman's family to ask for her hand in marriage, the woman serves everyone coffee. It's customary to salt the man's coffee quite a bit. He drinks it to show he's ready to take on marriage and any problems that come their way. He sure ain't ready for hypertension. Lock your car door with one hand while you're touching your keys with the other. Once you get in the habit, no more lockouts. I saw a comment on one of these kinda threads that recommended gently rocking back and forth while pooping. I've never had any problems in the bathroom, but I happened to be sitting on the toilet when I read the comment, so I decided to give it a test drive. I was pleasantly surprised at how quick and effortless the whole experience was, and I haven't gone back to my old stationary technique since. As a bonus, number 1 and number 2 now require the same amount of time in the bathroom.